I'm sure you all know a little something about the 1500s. But what I'm going to tell you today is what the life was like for an average person during the 1500s. Well, first off, let's talk about their housing. There's three main things that were bad about an average person's home. One, they had thatched roofs, and insects and bugs and rats could live up there. And then two, your bed was made out of straw, and they usually contained fleas and lice and any other kind of parasites. And then the third was that your flooring was dirt, and that's not very sanitary, just if you didn't know that. And anyway, overall, if an insect or a bug just like had their business, or a rodent on your roof, it would end up eventually coming down on you and onto your bed. And so what they would do is they'd get a big cloth and they'd hang it over the bed so that all the feces and everything that came off the roof would just fall in the, sort of like a net. And that's basically what an average person's home was like. So you can imagine how disgusting it could have been living in these times. Since we're talking about how dirty their lives were, they only had a bath once a year, and that was in May. And on top of that, if you weren't the male head of the house, you really didn't even get that clean that much at all, because the male head would get to take a bath first, then the eldest son, then the wife and the daughters, and then the babies. And by then, the water is literally dirt brown, so it's not really that clean at all. So they really didn't have that clean of lives. Now let's talk about my favorite area, food. Except really they didn't have that much variety of food at all, especially if you were poor. They primarily only ate stews and bread. Basically, that was pretty much their only diet. And what was really gross was the pot they used to make the stew. If there was any leftovers, they would leave it in there overnight and then cook it over again. And so sometimes if you're eating, you could get food that was maybe 10 days old or something. And so it's really gross. I mean, there's probably fungus and stuff in it. But that was another really gross thing about their food. But overall, I mean, their food was okay, I guess. Another important thing in the average lives of people in the 1500s was the religion. And the primarily religion was Roman Catholic Church. And the church was ahead of everything. But because of the Enlightenment, everything was slowly changing. But that was overall, church was very important to them, but that was basically all about church and stuff. Religion was very important. And now the government, that basically was monarchy with kings and queens. And during in this time in the 1500s, they were fighting with the Enlightenment. People were getting new ideas about changing the government and how they shouldn't think they have one true ruler. So that caused some problems for some of them. But it basically just consisted of the clergy and the monarchies and the kings and stuff. That was basically it for all the kings and rulers. Now, the clothing that people wore, average person really just wore just a basic shirt with maybe it's really long, and they have stockings, and then they go out to work. But the rich people would have really poofy, really big stuff. The man's clothes would primarily make their shoulders bigger, and their legs, they'd have breeches and stuff, and they'd have basically hose. And the women's dresses were I would hate to be a girl because all the crap they'd have to wear, but they have, it's a bunch of different pieces for one dress, and it'd end up being 3 times the size of the actual person wearing it, and you can imagine how hot that would get. And it's just poofy too, and it was really elegant. But that was what the rich people wore primarily. Marriage in the 1500s was a very important thing because it left on your legacy if you had kids and stuff. And primarily the rich people, they would marry off at around 13, 14, and 15. But if you were average and middle class or poor, you wouldn't get married probably until around your mid-20s, because you wouldn't be able to sustain your own home and stuff at the age of 14 if you were rich. So really they got married around 25, had kids, and that was basically it. Since we're on the subject of marriage, let's talk about women. The women in society, take a guess. They didn't have many rights like men. I mean, that's pretty much in every society you see. Men are more dominant over the women, but they were just there to take care of their kids and to be loyal to the husband. And the thing was, if they didn't really like their marriage or something, they couldn't get a divorce because there was no such thing as divorce. And it was highly against the church beliefs to do that, such a thing like that, to leave your husband. But women couldn't hold ranks or be in charge of anything. They're just there to basically pop out kids and take care of them, and then live at the home and take care of the home. That was all the women did in that society at the time. Now, the jobs in the 1500s were all primarily taken up by men, and they were basically involving the farming and just skilled trades like carpentry, metalwork, art, all the basics of everything you need. And they would go to the marketplace or whatever to sell their goods and stuff to the people. And that's basically how he worked. All the jobs were just necessities people needed, and that's what they did for their job. Now, to end it on a good note, there were some basic forms of entertainment in the 1500s at the time. It was there's theaters and plays. People would just go see a play, like a scene, a movie. And another form would be going hunting. I mean, people did it for survival, like just to get food, but they also did it for fun and for sport. So they did many things to try to entertain themselves, and I know I would at that time. I mean, look at how hard and boring it must have been to live in those times. Well, that's basically the average life of someone in the 1500s, and I hope you learned a lot, because I know when I was looking up some of the stuff I didn't know. Hope you guys have a good school day. Probably won't be that fun, but thank you, and hope you learned something.